What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today we're here to talk about ZORO Sanji, another one of these New Year's legends, but in this video it will be in regards to Pirate Rumble. We've already made a full showcase video dedicated to this character. If you want to see that, definitely go ahead and check out the video on the channel, because this unit is just utterly amazing, honestly. In normal content, this is one of the best legends that they've released in a very long time. However, in terms of PvP, this unit is a little bit different. I guess, both different and also kind of like the same in one aspect. The same in which that this unit provides really good supporter style stuff for your crew in Pirate Rumble. However, very different, because this character doesn't do damage. This character is not a damage dealing character in Rumble. He is purely utility support focused character, which is interesting for this unit. So let's go through his abilities before we get into the actual breakdown of him in Pirate Rumble, showing him off obviously against the different opponents. But his Rumble ability gives all your teammates level 6 HP and level 6 speed, so that's already very good. However, slasher characters on your team get level 5 attack and level 5 defense, so he gives HP, speed, defense, and attack just for all of your units on your team that are slashers, so that's obviously very, very good. But then further says if you have Luffy, Nami, Usopp, Chopper, Robin, Frankie, Brook, or Jinbei on your team, then this character gets 10 attack and 5 defense. I have no idea why this character receives level 10 attack. There's absolutely no reason why they should be receiving that, because their special doesn't do damage. I think it would have been better if they gave like a certain like special CT level up to themselves. I think that would have been fantastic, considering the way that this character is built. Let's go into their special though, because their special is the highlight here. At level 10, CT level 30, which is about average. They target slasher teammates for 8 attack, 8 speed, and 5 defense, all for 30 seconds. So lots of buffs for an extended period of time. And then if you have one of the other Straw Hats on your crew, then he targets all of your slasher characters for 100% chance of haste. So when you launch that special, all of your slashers receive massive buffs, and then if you have a Straw Hat, all of them go to the top of the order. This is fantastic, and we'll be showcasing this exactly in this video today, and how this effect is really good. But it can be both positive and negative though, because depending on the order of your team and depending on whether a character has their special or not, this might not be that good. But considering he has 30 CT means that his special will be about the same level as most of the other meta slasher characters, meaning if this guy goes first, goes to the top of the order with everyone, and then everyone can launch their special for a huge onslaught of damage straight away. That's the goal of this character. His behavior pattern is interesting. 2 power attacks in his behavior pattern. This may be good for characters with GP skills that aim to use power attacks, so just a little bit of a heads up in regards to that. And then his resistance completely resists action bind, which is cool, and then also healing 200 HP per interval. That kind of effect is kind of mediocre, it doesn't really mean much, but then also reduces damage taken from Free Spirit and Slasher by 30%. So not a terrible unit overall, definitely not a character that's going to be super meta right now, but he has an interesting use case, which we're going to be showcasing in the video today. First clip here is going to be against the challenge difficulty against Shiki with the int-driven squad. Thing is with Shiki, he can be a bit of a problem. He does a lot of damage against slasher-focused characters, so getting him out of the way quickly was nice. But this is the team comp that I'm going with 3 of the 4 clips. The final clip in this video is going to be a slight change to the team, because we actually needed it, and I'll talk about it once we get there. But this team is hyper offensive. We've got Cracker and we've got Odin, both giving really good special CT to the crew, as well as giving really good damage. Shanks' crew for some defensive purposes. Both Shanks' crew and the ZORO Sanji give us really good bulk. And then Roger Whitebeard, because if you're running a slasher team, you need to run Roger Whitebeard, otherwise you're doing yourself a disservice. Starting off here with Shanks' crew though, launching that special, and after the first 30 seconds, Shanks' crew does give additional defensive buffs to the crew. Here's ZORO Sanji, giving everyone haste, everyone's ready to go. Cracker got to do his thing, and then we're going to get Roger Whitebeard. You always want Roger Whitebeard to go kind of first, because they do the health cut, and then the 2 damage dealing specials that go through defense to 2 targets, but considering they do the health cut first, it helps out a lot. You want them to go first, and then the rest of the characters, they do a bunch of damage after that health cut, giving you a much higher chance to get those knockouts. But against this team here, I wasn't really super threatened about anything except for that Shiki. Really didn't want Legend Moria to launch his special either. Luckily for us, he didn't get a chance to do that. We were fast enough to kind of get around that, which was great. We're not using any Psy characters on the team either, which means that we're not really affected by some of those like Psy focus strategies like Legend Apu in this instance here. So we're tanking the hits pretty well. Yamato is a bit of a problem though, because Yamato can do good damage and also inflict the halving of stats, which can be really bad for us as it really nerfs the amount of damage that we can do. But we have decent bulk with Shanks Crew basically by ourselves. Shanks Crew and whenever ZORO Sanji can ever launch a special, they give the increased defense for 30 seconds and they have a really good rumble ability. You do see that I do have Brook on the back line. He's like a really low cost Straw Hat character just because he's a strength slasher, so he works well with the rest of the team. But he's also a Straw Hat that is required for ZORO Sanji to kind of get like the best components of each of their kits, which is why we built it in such a way. But once again, hasting all the characters with the second launch, bunch of buffs, and then we can get that dub. Moving on to the second clip is going to be against the Pell challenge, which is renowned to be one of the most annoying challenges in the game, mainly due to the fact that this team is extremely tanky. Usually with these challenge difficulty quests, these characters have enhanced stats that they don't normally have, and they can run more legends than normally is possible in regular Rumble. So that's why like this team, considering its bulk and all these Sugafest exclusives, normally very difficult to take down. But as time has progressed and the Rumble teams have gotten better and better over time, this has become a little bit easier. We do have this team here, which is the same team that we just used in the previous clip. Awesome to see Roger Whitebeard being able to launch his special first, getting that huge health cut. Unfortunately not getting a knockout there, which would have triggered Luffy's ability, so we wouldn't have to worry about the revive from that point onwards. We did get a little lucky with Queen targeting Shanks Crew for that bind ability. It would have been really annoying if it was anyone else really, so it allows the rest of our crew to start launching some specials. Pell actually does do some decent damage to us, and that's the thing about this team is that like, even though the team is bulky, the fact that they can outlast you for so long, they will eventually whittle you down, unless if you're able to do huge damage through defense or massive fixed damage capabilities. Odin finally coming in, securing our first knockout, getting rid of Luffy so we don't have to worry about his special completely recharging one of our opponent's specials. However, Doflamingo can still be a problem because he, especially in late game scenarios, he do incredible amounts of damage. And also Rob Lucci, you do have to respect him too. That defense down plus damage, very similar to super type Kaido, can be very problematic. And then the Rumble rare recruits are also very good. But at this point, I'm not really too concerned. We just need to make sure Roger Whitebeard can consistently launch that special. We have another Shanks Crew special, providing some more defense and offensive capabilities for the crew. Odin just missing that special would have been huge for us. However, Roger Whitebeard definitely getting another 2 knockouts here, knocking out the Dofi and the Lucci, the 2 big offensive threats that I was concerned about. However, it's around 30 seconds left now. It's getting really down to the wire. They have 5 characters left, so I really need to make sure I can start launching some of these specials here. If we get really bad action bind here, that could be a problem. Luckily, it was a character that had already launched their special, so that was not really too bad for us at all. However, ZORO Sanji did also use their special before, which is nice, so we have better offense, we have better defense. I'm not really too concerned about characters dying at this point, especially if they have already just launched their special. We really just want to launch as many specials as we possibly can at this point, and luckily for us, we're able to hold out right until the very end. It was actually a really close game, all things considered. And, I mean, you could probably replace a couple of characters to make the team a little bit better offensively. And in this scenario, I don't think ZORO and Sanji is a good component for this team. Probably would replace them with something that can give you some offensive threats. But either way, we're still able to secure that win. Moving on now to the third clip, which is against the John Bart int-driven team, and this team worked incredibly well. This team worked really well against my opponent here. We were just able to steamroll them super quickly, and you would have thought that with John Bart, Lauren Kid together, that's like the combo that they want you to use. And despite them having that combination, we were still able to apply so much pressure to the opponent so quickly. Being able to use that ZORO Sanji to just haste everyone to the top of the order, giving everyone offense, defense, and speed, it's massive, and it really does help you out a lot, especially if you can get everyone to go correctly. If you have the right order, like Roger Whitebeard just missed their special there. However, ZORO Sanji went straight after Roger Whitebeard, being able to haste him back to that top of the order so that he's able to launch the special before my opponents are able to do anything is super, super good. Unfortunately, Odin is going before Roger Whitebeard, which is not ideally what we want, but either way, we still were able to get our first knockout against the opponent. Really good damage with Roger Whitebeard, getting rid of Uta, and basically at this point, we're looking like we're going to secure a pretty easy win against this opponent, which is pretty dope for us. Blackbeard coming in with a special doesn't really matter for us at this point. He doesn't really do that much damage to us. Lord Kid, I was a little concerned. You know, Cracker is powerhouse, so he does take additional damage from them, but we tanked it really well. You know, I actually have really good defense at this point, considering Shank's crew, after the first 30 seconds, gives good offense, with his special gives good defense, and then you've got ZORO Sanji, which can also give really good defensive capabilities, not only with his rumble ability, but also after his special gets launched, which is massive. And then moving on to the final clip of this video, and this is where I had to change the team slightly. The previous team that you guys are seeing in the first 3 clips, I did use against this team, and I lost like 2 or 3 times in a row in almost the same fashion. It's just that the opponents were able to kill me before I could do anything, because Quick has really good special CT, and I just really couldn't do much against the opponent. So what I ended up doing, which I don't know if it was a smart idea or not, I replaced the Cracker. I replaced Cracker with Kinemon, Denjiro, Ashura, and Dogstorm. And this gives us really good rumble ability here of like additional defense, better offense. It does lack a little bit of special CT in comparison, but I really wasn't too concerned about it because Roger and Whitebeard, they're obviously still a beast, but then ZORO and Sanji can kind of haste everyone back to the top of the order anyway. So I feel like this combo still would work effectively, and it actually did work really well because when K-Dad are able to launch that special, it's much more powerful compared to what Legend Cracker was providing for the crew previously. In hindsight, it probably would have been a better idea to change out K-Dad for something else, considering he is a strength unit, so he does receive a lot of special CT debuffs from the opposing Sugar character. But either way, this team actually ended up working really well, and I think this is probably the better way to use the team because you still have amazing offensive powers, but you have really good defensive capabilities as well. The team across the board has really good natural stats, like especially after the first 30 seconds when Shank's crew's ability actually activates, giving you additional defense. But then when you have the specials of Shank's crew and ZORO Sanji launch as well, you are extremely bulky, and the only thing that really takes you down is like health cuts or like fixed damage effects. But anyways, that is going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hopefully you did enjoy it, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.